check. Test 1, 2. Check, check 1, 2. Why, hello, PK. Hello, PK. Well, welcome back to 300 Raceway. Dan Mayer joined by Miles Krieger. Miles, it's Saturday night. We've made it.
Yes, sir. The countdown is on. We're less than 2 hours from dropping that first hook and starting the competition as we pull for $50,000 to win in 6 different categories here at 300 Raceway.
Well, 300 Raceway located here in Farley, Iowa, just a few miles from baseball's Field of Dreams. Now, tonight, 300 Raceway in Farley will become the Field of Dreams for one of these 6 classes we're going to see here behind us.
Yeah, I agree, and it started my morning off this morning at the Field of Dreams. What a beautiful facility and awesome place, and then you come right here, and what a beautiful facility and awesome place. So only fitting that we're doing this right here in Farley, Iowa, the home of the Simon family.
So 2 days of qualifying is complete. We see behind us all the finalists are now getting scaled in, going over to the pad, checking those hitches. Final adjustments have all been done. Everybody's just getting staged, and you can really feel it right now in the air.
Absolutely. We had an awesome afternoon this afternoon here where we got to work on drawing the pulling order. It was done in a unique fashion. We didn't use the old computer system or the ball drawing, but more pullers had a chance to walk up and deem their own.
Yeah, so, they only got themselves to blame for what, particular spot that they're in, but I don't think there's a bad spot out there. We've seen here all weekend long, and, hats off to Jim Miller and his crew. They're out there. They've been out there, man, for over a week now, working on that track, over 25 pieces of equipment on that track, and we got to give a big happy birthday to Jim Miller out there. He's just, nose to the grindstone out there working, making those tracks the best that they can possibly be, and once again, hats off to him and his crew.
Yeah, a large group of folks that are working tirelessly with him, not just now in preparation, but also during the course of the show to keep the track fair, working on rolling everything in and making sure everything is tilled up properly, and it's been pretty awesome to watch. And again, we talk about the support that RJ and his family have received from their extended family, from their coworkers and peers, and it's been just a fantastic first 2 days, and I think everybody that's here is just so very anxious for number 3.
Yeah, and of course we're going to be handing out those big checks tonight, and that's what everybody's, on the back of their mind. And let's talk a bit about the history of this event here at 300 Raceway, an idea that Roger Simon himself had, put in motion for the two-wheel drives. That's what RJ had told me, that, he was looking to put together an event, a high-paying event for the two-wheel drive class, and RJ and family have taken that, 5 steps further.
Yeah, we've definitely broadened that spectrum. There's no question about that. And, you think about, there were some wait lists even. Basically every competitor paid an entry fee to help build this purse. And then from that, there was a waiting list for some of the vehicles. So if we had somebody who had to scratch or wasn't able to attend, obviously there's still some late farming occurring in the Midwest because of Mother Nature and all the rain that we've had. So we did have a few tractors that weren't able to make it, and those folks had spaces filled even. So it's been a fantastic deal. The iron you and I have talked about sitting here on this property over the course of the last 3 days has been nearly, it's unlike anything we've seen.
Yeah, and this facility right here used to be a weekly dirt track, and they have since pulled that back a little bit here. Running this event. They also got the big street stock event there at the end of the season. We saw Ricky Thornton Jr. win last year. So not a whole lot of events here, but they do have a couple big ones here at the Speedway.
Yeah, and they do. They've expanded. They're adding more campground space, and my guess is, and I don't know where they grow from here. We're pretty well at capacity, we'll say, with all the rigs that are here. We sold out all of our camping locations. So, the next step is in anything we do is how we make it bigger and better, and that'll be a question they have to ask. But I wouldn't put it past the Simons in finding more camp space, and I wouldn't put it past the Simons in finding more rig space.
Yeah, RJ was talking about taking some of the cornfields down, adding some hay there, but we'll see what they come up with for next year. But, yeah, nonetheless, we've got a beautiful day here for pulling action. You fans that are listening out within a couple hours' drive of 300 Raceway, come on out. And also, if you're not within a couple hours, we invite you to check us out on Full Pull Live here tonight, as we're going to bring you all the action and all the emotion. We've got the post press conference coming up. We're going to present those big checks. So, lots going on here tonight.
Well, we've talked about 50,000 for the whole week, but there's more to it than that. There's more money coming out of the kitty that will go to other competitors, and we've had some awesome sponsors who've jumped on board as well to give us not what I will call a random finisher, but a lucky finisher. In some instances, that might be event or number 10. It might be number 4. It might be number 17 or whatever it is. Those finishers deemed by the person who put the sponsorship dollars up will also get an opportunity to take a little bit of extra money home tonight. So there is obviously that incentive of finishing first, second, and third to take a bigger check home, but also the additional money that might be there coming from additional sponsors.
Yeah, and that's just great to see, those sponsors helping out here for this weekend. So tickets are still available here at 300 Raceway, and also make sure you check us out on Full Pull Live if you have not subscribed as of yet, as, of course, we're coming to you via YouTube and Facebook here live. So, let's talk a little bit about, last night here. Well, actually, this afternoon we went out and we presented some awards. We had the Best Appearing Vehicle Awards that, RJ wanted to bring back. And we spent the afternoon going talking with some competitors, and we've mulled it back and forth. It was kind of one of those. Actually, we had to bring our photographer Kenzie in on the deal because hey, let's break the tie here. So it was kind of fun doing that.
Yeah, I definitely enjoy it. I appreciate RJ and Solutions 2, who came on board as the sponsor of the Look But Don't Touch Best Appearing Awards this weekend. And we got to give 3 away yesterday, again 3 today. And it's been fun, like you said, to kind of mull over which ones have caught our eye. And we're not doing that based solely on performance by any means, but more just the beauty of the vehicle and how neat they have been. So awesome experience. Get to talk to the pullers, and each one of the pullers that did win was very appreciative.
So we'll take a look at those clips here. We've got 3 of them for you with the Limited Pro stock tractors, the mini rods, and the super stock diesel trucks here this afternoon.
All right, so we're here with the Barkers, and obviously we get to present on behalf of the Simon family and on behalf of Solutions 2 the award that we're referring to as the Look But Don't Touch Award for being the best in class, and collectively we have landed on this beautiful Rhapsody tractor. Congratulations, Barkers.
Well, thank you very much. We are truly humbled. There are some gorgeous tractors around here, and it's just an honor to be named this.
Absolutely. Well, I know that RJ wanted to bring this award back. It's something that's always been very special to him. Obviously, his dad's truck is adorned on there. Anybody you want to thank for today, obviously, for the hard work of this tractor?
First off, the Simons for what they're doing this weekend. This is absolutely awesome. Solutions 2 for sponsoring this. My grandpa Joe Elson, this is his tractor, and without him we couldn't do it. Jeremy Nelson, NCP Customs, done all the paint work. Mike Stinson, Ace Chassis, done the sheet metal work. It's been a group effort to get it to this.
Absolutely, sir. Well, on behalf of Solutions 2, Dan gets the honor of handing you that beautiful plaque and $100 cash that you guys can fight over as well.
Thank you all very much. I sure appreciate it. We're looking forward to tonight.
Absolutely.
So our best appearing super stock diesel truck, John Mann's, and the Crazy X truck out of Pennsylvania. Solutions 2 is sponsoring the award here tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. It was a lot of work to get this thing to look like it does. My paint guy actually painted it, did all the finishing body work in a month for us 2 years ago, and it turned out awesome. And it's a pleasure to be here. This event's awesome. Thanks to Simons for everything. Thanks Solution 2 for the award.
Now, what year body is this?
It's a 77.
77 Ford, our best appearing super stock diesel truck. John Mans, congratulations again.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Okay, we are here with the Look But Don't Touch Award, Best in Class for the Mini Modified Division, and it's sponsored by our friends at Solutions 2. And we have landed on Tanner Nelson and the Half Past Midnight Mini. Congratulations, bud. I want to talk to you about what it was like to drive this for the first time ever here in Farley.
It was definitely a rush. It's a lot different than a truck. It happens so much faster in this, and you got to be on your feet.
So obviously you as a little guy watching Dad, your uncles, your granddads, you've been around this for a long time, but now it's your time to shine. Tonight you get to pull for $50,000, not once but twice. Pretty cool?
It's awesome. RJ and Solutions 2 has put on one hell of a show here. It's one of a kind, and hopefully we can keep it going.
Well, congratulations. Dan's going to present you with the plaque as well as $100 from Solutions 2, and congratulations on the beautiful tractor that you have. Anybody you want to thank?
NCP Customs, my dad and the guys at the shop knocked it out of the park. John Card Saturation Engines, DSR, SSI Superchargers, Chad Mayhill for the tires.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations, pal.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, Solutions 2, we thank them for the sponsorship of that award, and it was a lot of fun to do here the last couple of days, our best appearing. But let's talk about, let's recap last night's show. We saw an excellent show, 5 or 6 more classes qualifying for tonight's program. We had, great track conditions once again, all kinds of tough equipment, but we got some runs here. We'll take a look at our winning runs here for our champions from last night. And we'll see who they're going to key up here. We're going to start with the 4-wheel drive class. And, Miles, the second night in a row, we saw that number 1 hook get it done.
Yeah, tailor-made. Obviously, Taylor Corsa coming to us out of the south. Obviously, she had a beautiful pass. And, her and her dad been working on that truck, and it's really starting to get dialed in. Late in the season last year, we got to see that as well. Taylor did a nice job wheeling that, and then she got to watch as all of her competitors threw their very best at her, and she was very, very strong. So I know she went into that draw this morning just like Rob Foster, hoping for that number 1. She did not draw number 1, but sort of middle early.
So they're going to run the same class order here once again tonight. So we will see over on the infield side, we'll see the 4-wheel drives, we'll see the mini rods, and conclude with the 2-wheelers. And then the grandstand side, once again, we'll have the limited pros, the super stock diesel trucks, and we'll finish out with the pro stock class. On those are the lineup for tonight on both of the tracks. So really things haven't changed. Kind of different than what we've seen on some of the national pulls. Usually you pull for twice in a couple sessions. You'll switch tracks. Not here. Going to run on the same track. So we'll take a look here at our next clip at our next winner that we had last night in our session 2 run here. Oh yeah, here we go. Our lucky dog. Yes, lucky dog for last night. As we've got that totally hooked.
Yeah, that might be the most excited we've seen somebody as well. An 83-year-old Lawrence Line was the winner of the Lucky Dog in the 4-wheel drive class. That was pulled out by Taylor Corsa, and obviously he is added to the field. He comes back in here now, so both the Totally trucks have been in this field now. They've got 2 opportunities out of the 25 or 22, I believe, we have that run tonight.
Yeah, that was really cool to see, and like you said, one of the most excited guys to get that lucky dog, and we'll see how Lawrence does here tonight. Strong competitor for so many years out of the state of Minnesota. So we'll move along here to our next class we saw last night, as we should have the Limited Pro class. And Dean Hollicky, what can you say about Dean Hollicky? I mean, the guy's been a national champion 5 times over with the Super Semi class, jumps into this Limited Pro class. Didn't take him too long, and here he is right back on top.
Yeah, he just makes it look quite easy, and he seems to do that at every venue he goes to. He is a threat. He is definitely a threat tonight in the 401 Limited Pro Stock class to take home that $50,000. And he did a fantastic job just making sure everything was ready with killing time. He and his wife, they are a tough team. There's no question about it, as we also will have that Lucky Dog video. And another very excited, very excited person, Miss Jamie Janicki. Jamie Janicki was so excited to get that opportunity. She walked past last night, you and I, down on the big end of the track, and she said, "I'm on the way to get the Lucky Dog." Yeah. And just as fate would have it, she was the first one not to make it. She was 11th, so she became the second of the weekend to become the 11th place Lucky Dog with Peter Norton as well.
And I think we told her, get up to the milestone nice and early, bar the doors, don't let anybody else in. And, that was good to see. I mean, she was so excited, and we'll see how she does here tonight. This is going to be really exciting as we'll bring back 22 limited pros to fight it out for $50,000.
There's a lot of folks who have come to this idea that they have to change something. They realize that it wasn't enough. So I'm anxious to see how far we're changing things and what we're doing tonight to make sure they are in the thick of it. So 2 of those qualifiers, or 2 of those winners from last night are in. We still have 4 classes to watch those winning and lucky dog videos of.
Yeah, so next up we're going to have our mini rod class, and Adam Kester, that blue mini rod here for 2025 Beaster Burden, and that tractor has been tough. And accomplish for Adam Kester getting all 3 tractors into this field, that is just amazing.
Yeah, with relative ease, I'll say. A first place with the blue tractor, a second place with the red tractor, and a 4th place, I believe, with his dad's Footloose tractor, of course. So all 3 Kester Racing entries are punched into that final, and he did get the number 1. As he drew a number 1 this afternoon, he'll be out with Footloose, I believe, as the option puller tonight.
And no doubt in my mind, Dad's smiling down, and he's going to be steering the ship here tonight, seeing how Adam does here. And let's talk about our lucky dog here for the mini rod class last night, as we've got Mr. Kevin Hill out of Vermont, another puller out of Vermont. We've had quite a few come out here, and that was good to see. We talked about coast-to-coast action, but, Kevin had a rough spring, but, able to come out here last night with a 17th place finish and get the lucky dog.
Yeah, deserving. I mean, let's say he's deserving of it. There's no question. After the spring that he had, you hope that he has that opportunity to come out here tonight, and he said he was going to go back and work on everything and get things dialed up a little bit more, so we'll do that. The mini class was very, very tough last night, and finishing 17th in that group may not have been what he wanted to do, but still not a bad accomplishment. He's back in the finals now with the lucky dog.
So we'll move along here with our next class. Last night, and boy, it was a tough one, the Superstock Diesel Truck class. But the man that owns Farley, Iowa, Van Hazley, 3rd consecutive win in the diesel truck class. Last time they ran here was back in 2020, and he swept that weekend and just keeps that train a-rolling.
Yeah, very unique class of Superstock Diesel 4x4s. It's just the second time they've been here to Farley, and it really made a big difference, I think, for some. But the surface, they've all been complimentary of the surface. Again, they're talking about how great the track was. It threw them for a loop. But now there are some other things that are being added to this game that are going to require them to make some changes, some tweaks. And we saw some of the very best in that class last night struggle. So tonight, it's a new game. We'll see who finds the winning run.
So for this class tonight, we will have 12 entries. Took 11 from last night, and we will add the lucky dog to that. So we will have a dozen Superstock diesel trucks competing here, and we'll take a look here at our lucky dog last night in the Superstock diesel truck class. And we spent a little bit of time with this young man this afternoon, and they are thrashing.
Yeah, so not only are they working on the back side of the truck, they're working on the front side of the truck. Did some damage last night. Got to put a new rear end in. Had to put some bearings in. Thanks to RJ and his crew for allowing utilization of their shop and some of the tools that they needed to be able to push that bearing together. And certainly, hopefully, Nick has still, I'm guessing he's still probably back there working to get everything in line. But Nick was drawn as the lucky dog, and he was quite thrilled and said, we'll have it ready.
Yeah, so he had a crew going up to Michigan to get the rear end, and then he had another crew out for some more parts out western Iowa. So hopefully everything comes together for him, and he's able to get that truck on key here tonight. So that'll be interesting to see how that will all work out, as we'll take a look at our next class that we ran last night. And, of course, the super modified two-wheel drives put on just another spectacular show.
You watch Cole Zajac raise that left hand here at about 330 feet. He knew he was going to sail right on out the gate. Probably the most impressive pass of the weekend on the two-wheel drive side, and he did it with just quite authority, no question about that. So the guys from Texas came to play. Both Whitey and Cole are in. We also have Dustin Corliss in there. David Hunt is in there. So of our truck class, there's a whole bunch of Texas coming here for $50,000.
Yep, they knew it, and they put on a show. They always do. And let's talk about the lucky dog here for the super modified two-wheel drive class. As we will see right there, Mr. Altman will make it into the program here. Cole Altman with his T-Bucket. Now he's got a couple full-body trucks that he's acquired since, but this is tried and true for him.
Yeah, the one he's most used to, as we presented a best appearing to him yesterday for the new truck he has acquired, that C10 72 Chevy that he purchased from the Weens family. But he has that's been his kind of where he really cut his teeth in the two-wheel drive game. His most confidence and comfort in setup is in that truck. So if he was going to put one in the finals, maybe that's the best shot, and he received that lucky dog. So we've got one class left. That's the Pro Stock Tractor class we concluded last night's show with, and here we go.
So there we go. We see Mr. Round again flexing his muscle here at the 300 Raceway, whether it's in a dirt car or on a tractor. He has got this place figured out. And a great run there for Jason as he picked up the qualifier last night. And really, I mean, he put it on him last night.
Yeah, it was impressive. He made that run early. I think he was the second hook, and there was just not really anybody that came even to challenge him. That's the second tractor out of his stable to win, as the Vorwalds picked up a win as well on the Thursday night preliminary. So both of our prelim winners were out of Jason Round's trailer, and Jason put another tractor in, so they'll have 3. It'll be pretty anxious to see as we get into this final what sort of team idea, team dynamic exists.
And then we talk about the Lucky Dog. Then things just went crazy. It went crazy. Jeremy Smith won the Lucky Dog. He got up on stage and says, you know what? My tractor really shouldn't be here. He says, I want somebody that deserves to be here. So they raffled it off last night. We auctioned it off.
Yeah, the high-strung tractor has been one that's been around for a really long time. You and I talked last night in competition back to the Super Farm days of when he really started going. Jeremy's got a couple of tractors. He's got that beautiful Cat Challenger tractor that we also talked about. And, spontaneous combustion is what he's named that tractor, and that's kind of the one that we've really watched him do very well throughout the state of Ohio with. But as he hit the stage last night, he looked directly at RJ and he said, this tractor can't be in that $50,000 to win. We need to do something about it. RJ said, well, what do you want to do? And he said, I think we ought to auction it off. He did auction it off, and the charity that he chose was Make-A-Wish, because RJ said, look, you choose the charity and I'll make the donation. And the charity that he chose was Make-A-Wish. And then pretty quickly we realized how important it was for a couple of gentlemen to possibly be in on Saturday night.
So, yeah, let's just say that Brent Meyer made a significant donation to the Make-A-Wish. He, what we figure, just about 3 wishes would be granted?
Nearly 3 full wishes granted with his bid last night of generosity, we'll say, and a chance now to pull for $50,000. And if nothing else, he also was the option. He gets the option out of that draw from this afternoon, so he'll get to set the sled for us in the Pro Stock class and that distance to beat. He was a guy who wanted another opportunity, and he found a way to do that, and the Make-A-Wish kids are tremendously going to benefit as well. And as I said this afternoon on the stage, big kudos to Jeremy Smith and his generosity as well.
And outbid Ryan Coates for that spot in the show, so the 2-time Grand National Champion will be back. All running for this $780,000 purse, $750,000 we're paying out here tonight. Now, Miles, some great local sponsors that are helping out with this event. And, you've been talking about them all week long here.
Yeah, it's been just an outpouring of support coming through from the community here. It starts really with Raider Implement. They have been the presenting sponsor of this event and really, really have been on board since day one when RJ started this event 6 years ago to try to bring the Farley Nationals to fruition. Raider Implement has been on board. And even cooler, they've been bringing a lot of their VIPs in this weekend as well. They've got a beautiful tent set up right down here on the big end of the track in the infield, and it's allowed them all to have a great time, and they've been able to eat and drink and be merry here with us. Nutrient Ag Solutions, Simon Trucking, Simon Cattle, those are some of the guys that have really been involved. There's been a whole group of folks that have just kind of taken time and put some money into this, and I certainly appreciate that.
All right, well, at this time, we're going to ask RJ, the promoter, come on down, and we're going to have RJ on here for just a couple quick minutes.
He's not too far away. I saw him drive the gator up just a minute ago, but I think he ran around the side of that trailer, so we may have to fill for just a second until we
get him back
until we find him, because once you lose him, he's gone. He's already off to his next engagement. He's taking care of his constituents.
He's over at the food stand, they tell us. So, yeah, he's just grabbing a good bite to eat.
Serving some burgers up.
Yes. For those fans that are sitting in this crowd or walking in the grounds, the food here at Farley, some of the best you will have at a racetrack. I guarantee that.
Yep.
They do a great job here. And
I enjoyed some chicken fingers last night and some French fries that I went to get right about the time that things got exciting for you down at the finish line of the track.
Yeah, we had one of the Superstock diesel trucks break free last night. From the sled, and don't normally get to see that, but yeah, he came on pretty quickly there and had to. Took me a little bit to think, hey, we might have to get out of the way here. But
you did a little pivoting, huh?
Yes, we how quick things happen there, but we'll bring RJ in here. All right, RJ Simon, here we go.
Yeah, you can't. No breaks for you, buddy. You are full mode taking care of your constituents.
Yeah, I was just over there making sure everything was good. Sometimes you just got to test things out and make sure it's to par.
Well, I can attest. I mean, this is the 6th year that I've been here, and the food here at 300 Raceway, some of the best that I have had at anywhere. I mean, you guys really do from top to bottom. It's good stuff.
We try hard.
Well, I want to tell your better half and Brandon's better half. Of course, Kayla and Jody, and I don't know who else was involved. You knew the lineup of the folks, but what a wonderful meal we had this afternoon.
My sister, my mother-in-law, just everyone, my mom, they were all up there working hard.
It was a great lunch we got to have over in Milestone, so thanks so much for that. And all the pullers had a great time. What a wonderful event you have hosted. And now we're down to the point that really is where when you went to sleep at night a year ago, when you went to sleep at night 9 months ago, you sort of awoke to what we're having tonight.
Yeah, it's surreal. I guess I get to compete for $100,000 tonight. I have 2 shots at it, so that's one thing I'm trying to go through my head, but also trying to make sure everything goes off without a hit. So my head's definitely
go in a couple different directions.
Yeah,
right?
I got the competitor hat on, the promoter hat on, and everything else. It was really special. I got my dad's 2 trucks in, the 2 Simon Says, the blue 4-wheel drive that my dad's had before me. It's been around, and I got my first Grand National win with that thing last year in Benson, so just over a year ago, so maybe I'm due.
Yeah, I think here's what I will tell you. I don't know that there are many people that can kind of just flawlessly manage the process like you have. It seems like it's been a pretty easy flow for you, and you've been able to find the time you need to actually get in the vehicle, navigate it, and go, but also be able to wear the hats that it requires. You're not just a promoter, you're the owner of this facility. You're a competitor. You're doing so many things. So you have a wonderful group of people that help you get this done. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, I got to thank my brother-in-laws, Joe and Justin, and my 2 sisters, Melissa and Nicole. They're just all helping out around here. All my nieces and nephews are here. And obviously my brother, his wife Jody, all their kids, and my beautiful wife Kayla. She's been helping and then taking care of all the boys while I've been basically either pulling or taking care of this the last month. So I got to thank them, and then just all our staff. We just got great people. They're friends, they're family, they're more than just an employee. They're just great people. They work hard, and it's just awesome.
I've learned a lot over the years in being a person who gets to manage people and work with people, and I've found that when you find that sort of family element and you have really good people, it makes your world so much easier. But when you have people that you take care of, they give back and they invest even more. And just in talking to these folks around this facility that I've gotten to meet, they all sing your praises. They love your family, and so it's a mutual. It goes both ways. You appreciate them, they appreciate you, and that's why it allows them to be here and sacrifice as well. So kudos, major kudos to you guys.
Yeah, and just the track, this track is just, I've been getting more compliments on the track, the facility, everything's just been great. The track wouldn't be what it was without the help of Jim Seymour letting us get some more dirt out of his field just a few weeks back, and then Jason Round and his crew wouldn't been able to do it without him and all the work they did, and then obviously the team here, Jim Miller and Bingen and all his kids are here and stuff like that. So from Greenville, and just really excited that they all came out and just worked their tail off all week. I mean, track's been phenomenal, consistent, just a powerhouse.
I'm going to ask you a question, then I'm going to let Dan ask some because I've kind of dictated this interview. But here's the thing I want you to tell some folks, because you taught me something yesterday, and I'll just be honest with you. 30 years, 40 years of coming to tractor pulls and over 20 of announcing. I've never had somebody explain to me about wet spots that occur in a track surface and ways that you have to get down deep and fix them. So let's talk a little bit about what you noticed and why you hauled in 60 truckloads of dirt.
Well, we just noticed that it was settling. Over time, it just kept getting lower, and we like it built up so the rain could shed off of it, and then obviously it looks better for the fans and makes the show look fast because the walls ain't over top of it. But we see the wet spots, you get that pump. The only way you can get that pump out is to dry the dirt. So the only way you can dry the dirt is to let Mother Nature with the sunlight and heat dry it out. So that's what we did. They would Jason and his team, they were disking it, let it dry, and then they would, once it would dry and they'd disc it a few more times, they'd push it onto a pile, and that's the dry pile, and then you'd do another few inches and just kept drying it out. And then once all of it was dry, they brought it back in inch by inch, and they'd use the sheep's foot and just bring that in and get it as hard as concrete and just keep bringing it in. And then when Jim got here, it was really hard, and then he just was able to work up the top 6-8 inches at the most. He was able to get that wet and the moisture up there, hold it in there, and it was just perfect. You know, when the sled backs across it, you can just see it just so ever so slightly roll, but it goes right back. Where like some places, when the sled backs in, you can literally see it cut ruts. Yep. And that's what I call a pump. You know, it's cutting too deep, it's too wet, too deep.
Yeah, basically spongy. You know, that's the easiest way to describe it. You know, you see the sled go back on it, and it's moving all around. RJ, Saturday night, we're doing it. We're going for $50,000 here tonight. Biggest payout ever in the sport of pulling. We're here. We're there. We got everybody qualified. This is it, man.
Yeah, it's just amazing. I mean, look at all the preparation that went into this. I mean, it's just amazing. I've never dreamed that this was going to happen. Here we are. It's happening. We're rolling. It's really exciting. I got to thank, though, Chase Richardson, Full Pull Live. I don't know his title. I think he's a janitor or something. But he's a great asset, and he believed in me and this concept and was behind me from day one. And then the NTPA came on board, and Ed Walliser and WPI, they stood by this and then said that they would come with us and do it. So I got to thank them and all their staff. The tech officials, Marvin, his whole team. I mean, we did huge super techs. This wasn't just like a safety check deal. They were really strict on everything, as they should be. And tonight's not going to be any difference. Afterwards, there's going to be some checks. I hope everyone's good, but that's what happens, and we do that in racing, as Dan knows, and stuff like that. So afterwards, this is going to be different than we're used to.
Yep, head on over to the Tech Barn and make sure everything's good to go. Now, a big press conference afterward, as we're going to go back up to the milestone once again and hand out those big checks.
Yeah, we're going to hand out them big checks, and they say you take them to a big bank. That's how you cash them. Is that true? I don't know. That's just what they say. But
yeah, the ATM, you won't.
I never got one of those big checks.
A big check?
Yeah, not in racing. No,
no.
A couple thousand, I think, is the only the biggest one I ever won. Yeah, we never had any real big.
He's missing it, ain't he? We're saying like a big check.
A big check.
You know how?
Yeah, I know. I got a big check, but it was only for $2,500
for the bank.
No, we're saying you have to take one of them big checks to a big bank.
To a big bank.
To a big bank.
It doesn't matter how much. It doesn't matter how much.
The value matters not.
I got it now. Yes, I got it.
Hold on, you got to stop.
I got it.
Miles has to get up.
I got it. Yes.
Dan.
It's been a long week.
I'm sorry, Dan. But, dude.
Yes, we got it.
I'm sorry.
We're good. I'm good.
Happy RJ should have said Happy Gilmore, Dan.
Yep.
Happy Gilmore. Take it to a big bank.
Yes, big bank.
I love you, Dan Mayer.
I know.
I love
you. I said lack of sleep will do that to you. See, it's.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, and you guys, you announcers, you guys have been up here. You're with my crazy ideas. We're here at 11 o'clock today getting stuff ready for the noon drawing, and then basically nonstop, and now we're starting here again. We're going to be running right through into the pull. Couldn't do it without you guys. I know, Miles, I want to wish you a happy anniversary, you and your wife. You missed that to come here, and that means a lot to me and my family, and I'm sure you want to thank her. She's probably not watching. I know she's not
watching.
But at least maybe somebody will tell her you heard him talk about it.
I appreciate that very much. I think as we all get into this, and I told your wife, I met your father-in-law today at the meal, and I said I've watched him grow up. I've grown up with him, and I've gotten to know your daughter, and I love your family. And I said because of that, I think that's just what's so unique about this sport, and that's what makes me want to miss something. That is a big deal to me, is I want to be here with you and watch you triumph through these awesome deals that you're planning. I want to see somebody win $50,000, because if I were at home, I know exactly what I'd be doing. I'd be sitting there watching the live stream thinking, why am I not there? And I want to be here. Everybody that loves pulling wants to be here tonight.
And RJ, we've had some great crowds here.
Oh, just amazing. Fans, I couldn't thank them enough. I mean, great crowds and just awesome. I've gotten a lot of snaps and text messages, lots of parties, live parties, people watching it at home on Full Pull Live, which is awesome. But, yeah, best crowd we've ever had for a pull last night, and I don't see why tonight we wouldn't double it.
I went to the Field of Dreams.
I was going to say, tickets still available?
Yep. Absolutely. Tickets still available at the gate. Get out here. You will not regret it. I feel like tonight's going to be the best show we've seen in pulling in a long time.
I went to Field of Dreams today, and when I pulled in to make my donation to park my truck, the young man said, well, what brings you here? And I said, I'm here for the tractor pull. And he said, I've heard that's a really big deal. And I thought, you know what? This is a guy that has no idea about our sport, but somebody's communicating that to him. And I said, you're right. It is a really big deal.
It's awesome. I mean, it's just so impressive. And then all the cool ideas we came up with the lucky dog, and then like the drawing today for the numbers. I mean, nothing but positive feedback. You know, lots of pullers that have been pulling longer than I've been alive that came up to me and thought it was so cool how we did things. And that for me is a huge compliment because, you know, they're the legends of the sport. You know, guys like Bill Eichner came up to me and gave me a huge compliment, and that meant a lot, you know, just so I'm sure our dads are up there looking down on us and wondering why we didn't do 100,000.
Well, you know what? The beauty of it is you know the 50 model works. We can try one future of the 100.
Exactly. Right. That's the goal. I mean, let's go bigger and better, and there's a good chance we'll find out probably in the next couple weeks, but there's a really good chance we're talking real soon about 2026, and let's go big or go home, huh?
Well,
people ask.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier, like, where else are you going to put rigs next year? I mean, that's got to be the next thing on the list.
Well, there's 24 acres back there that's got corn in it, and it's probably some of the most beautiful corn that we have. So it's going to be hard to lose that spot, but that's probably the next. Or we got the ground on the other side of the road, so we'll figure it out.
Okay.
I mean, the rigs is a big deal, but maybe we just got to kind of do a Louisville thing, and after you run and you're out, you got to move and go to a different lot and
get them on out.
I mean, unfortunately, but I mean, there's a lot of different ways. We'll work hard to do it, and it just takes great people like yourselves and the Full Pull team and everybody just been a huge supporter. I can't thank everyone enough. I mean, there's so many great people involved in this and in this sport that, you know, the pullers, we couldn't have this event without the pullers. They believed in it, and they signed up and came out full force. So we couldn't have this event without them. They're here, and they've put on just a tremendous show. And then the Bauer sled. The Bauer team this weekend, Vaughn, Lori, and Donnie, and Chris, Big, you know, just amazing. We've had great sled settings, speed. That's all just important, and they've done just a phenomenal job.
Kent told us 39 mile an hour last night on his first pass.
Truck. Yes.
He's rolling. So, yeah, and that's the exciting thing, you know, when you can get speed and do that, that's the fun part, and that's what makes pulling fun, and that's where we're at, guys. It's amazing, and just get out here tonight. If you can't get here to Farley, Iowa, 300 Raceway, watch it live on Full Pull Live, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime, as of right now, experience you will not want to miss. It's going to be life-changing tonight. I can't wait to hand a $50,000 check out to a winner. And I just, you know, we don't know who it's going to be. We have people from all over the country that are here to compete, even into Canada. I'm not sure, but it could be anyone's game.
Take a deep breath.
Yes.
Relax. You got to be a driver here pretty soon.
Yes, go
yeah,
from
I
that
think I'm
promoter to driver.
13th or 14th hook with the four-wheel drive, and then I don't even know, third hook with the two-wheelers. So
yep, Mark threw you at number 3.
Yep. So I'm excited and happy and just looking forward to it, and I'm just gonna have fun. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, I want to win it really bad, but it's all about having fun, and that's the main thing. You know, I love pulling. So thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, guys.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
And RJ, thank you and your family for everything that you have done putting this amazing event together. And hopefully things go well for you on the track as well, too. So, once again, R.J. Simon joining us here tonight, the man behind this great event here, him and his family putting this great event on. And what is Jason Schultz? What do you got going on back here?
Well, I'm back here with Mary Kale, just coming off the scales with spending their inheritance. She made the finals for a chance to win $50,000. How you feeling?
Very excited. To make the finals is huge for us.
Did you do anything different, you and Mike, to set your tractor up to get into the finals?
We made a couple minor adjustments.
Okay. Can you enhance on those minor adjustments?
I'm sworn to secrecy.
So you signed an NDA.
I did.
Okay, I understand. When your husband's your crew chief, that's really, really important on night. So, was it the extra sloppy joes before or after the scale? Like a high school wrestler, they'll weigh in, and then they go to McDonald's?
I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I was just going to say, you are probably the lightest mini rod driver there is.
Most likely.
Yeah, and then Mike was going to drive the tractor, right?
He was, but then we'd have scale follies all the time, and he'd have to run too light, and that's dangerous. So I ended up in the seat.
How nervous are you?
I'm trying not to be.
Okay, but is this probably the most, be honest with me, Mary, we've been friends for a long time. Is this the most nervous you've ever been?
Oh, absolutely. This is the hugest thing that any of us has ever done. We've never gone for this kind of money.
So, in the past, what before today, where have you been the most nervous? Was it Bowling Green? Was it over in the Netherlands last year? What were you doing?
Well, I was a little bit nervous in the Netherlands, but usually Bowling Green is the one that really gets me because it takes so long. You're in the lineup shoot for hours and too much time to think, and obviously all of the heavy hitters are there, so it gets pretty nerve-wracking.
Awesome. So with full pull picks, you're in the field picks tonight, which means people can. There's like I think 8 or 10 mini rods in there where people select them. They do all those, and they're picking 2 to finish in the top 3. So you're in the field picks. And the field picks are a favorite right now because of you being in there, so that's pretty neat.
That's pretty exciting. I thought I was an underdog.
No, you're nobody. If you're in the finals, you're not an underdog. The underdogs are parked in their trailer right now, Mary.
I still can't believe it. Just making the finals is like winning this thing for us.
This is awesome. And you guys are out of the great state of New York?
Yes, we are.
Why do we...
The good end.
Yeah, because I said the great state of New York. That's like saying something good about Illinois.
Yeah, that's right. We want to blow New York City off the end of it, but we're on the other end.
So maybe with $50,000 we can buy some dynamite and figure something out, Mary.
I think they got other plans for the money.
And what would that be, Mary?
Probably some upgrades. Yeah, the guys all want scooters, but I think they already did that by getting us in the finals, so I think they might already have scooters.
Well, the rumor is that you guys are going to build an Unlimited and run Grand National with Billy Beers.
Well, then Mike could drive. That would be fantastic, but I think it takes more money than that to build one.
I want to see you drive an Unlimited.
Holy crap. Oh, I could.
Yes, you could. So I heard not only are you a professional tractor puller, you're also you have your own book. What's the word I'm looking for? Is Dan, help me out. Is that a biography or an autobiography? You're an author. Mary Kale, the author. I can see it now. Like Hollywood. And it's the Mary Kale Tells Me All About Life. So where can we find this book, Mary?
Actually, it's my husband who wrote the book.
Well, you know what? We talk about Mike too much. Like, he doesn't deserve any of this. You're the sweetie. You're the face. You're the inheritance. So.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But it's a children's book. We as grandparents have read a lot of children's books. Are kind of So this.
Now, when you say what do you mean, Mary?
You read the book and you go, it makes no sense to me. Any idiot can write a children's book. Hence.
Stop. Could Dan Mayer write a children's book, do you think?
Well, I wouldn't call you an idiot, Dan, but anybody can write a children's book. I'm telling you.
That makes me laugh.
It's available. He's got a site for it. I think it's justasgood.com. You can do pre-orders. Just as good. Justasgood.com. Right? Oh, justasgoodbook.com. We will have copies. You can pre-order.
Your manager needs to do a better job. That's all I'm going to say. Let's get the manager over here. The world, Mr. Mike Kale, the co-author of Just a Book. So. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get you on the This Week in Pulling podcast. It is the most professional podcast in pulling, hosted by my very own Dan Mayer. We actually have 8 fans now. Our goal is to get double digits here by the end of the week, so it's all good.
Yeah, we've been fans, so yeah. You got that? See, yeah, right.
Chris Schreier's here. Holy cow, the celebrities are out. Check him for a wristband. Did you sign the waiver, Schreier? Because I know what you would do at Toma. You would chase me into the porta potty if I didn't have a wristband. All right, Mike, sorry. I see squirrels and shiny objects. And I'm surprised they let me talk this long. A lot of times my batteries are like about this much left. All right, Mike. All right, talk about the book.
I just finally, after like 10 years, finally sat down and now that I got retired, and put some words together. And we have a wonderful editor, Christina, have to help me put everything together. And went through the motions, and it's about a little girl, born and raised on a family farm, and many brothers and sisters that always wanted to drive Dad's big red tractor. And without she goes on throughout life and finally gets to drive the big red tractor, and her family puts the pulling tractor together and goes on from there. So I don't want to give too much away, but we do have a pre-sale thing going now for orders. We'll ship them, sign them, and ship them when they come in the end of July, probably. JustAsGoodBook.com. We got quite a few pre-orders already, and then we're going to have them live in person with us at Langford Northeast Nationals up in Langford, New York, in our hometown. And Bowling Green is going to be the one. And the book is all 100% of everything is benefit and Make-A-Wish of Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. We're donating everything to it. So we're pretty proud of that. I know the blue shirts are all on board out there, and we're looking forward to debut that out in Bowling Green for them and hopefully make Make-A-Wish a mess of money.
Cool. Last question. What's 50 grand mean to you and Mary?
It means a lot, of course. 50 grand, the big picture's not new motor material, but
what's a new motor cost? What would this cost right now if I walked up and wrote a check?
Upwards of 60, 70,000. It's more about the pride being here, I think, with us. Win, lose, or draw tonight, we're just excited and honored to be running with 21 of the best tractors in the country, and they're all good heavy hitters here, and we're proud as hell of being part of it.
You should be proud as hell. Mary, Mike, good luck. Thank you for your time. Appreciate you guys a lot. Thank you for writing a book. Thank you for giving money to Make-A-Wish. I'm going to go find somebody back here in tech. So see what we got going on back here on the scales. So been watching this guy all week. So what is your name, sir?
Jay.
Jay, can you look at the camera over there?
Boy.
What's your last name, boss?
Bundy.
Jay Bundy. And how long have you been an NTPA tech official?
Just probably 10 years, something like that, 11.
Okay. So how often do you get your ass chewed? Or what are some of the craziest things? Does Marvin yell at you a lot? Does he have a private text message group, Jay?
No, there's no private text.
You're lying. You're lying. You're lying. You're lying.
No, I got a personal number right to him. So.
Oh, you have a personal number, too. That makes me even happier. What's it been like this weekend working in Farley?
It's been really great. I mean, we've had probably one of the best groups I've worked with, and pullers. They've been pretty respectable, and we get every moment we'll get a number, butt shoot a little bit, but hey, we keep them honest. They keep us honest. So.
I like it. Thank you for all that you do. Being a tech official is like being a mayor or city council of a small town. It is a thankless job,
and not much money.
And not just like pulling, So we should have a tech official thing where like the tech officials could win $50,000. What should we have you guys do?
I don't even want to go there.
No, we got nothing but time. This is good TV.
Yeah, I bet.
Thanks for your time, Jabe. I appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Dan, let's talk about full pull picks. These other people are getting a chance to win 50 grand. Why don't you and I
absolutely.
make
Let's
a little
talk about it.
cha-cha-cha?
Yes, you talked about the field
Cha-cha-cha.
pick. You talked about the field pick.
We sure did.
With Mary Kale. All right, here we go. We all comfy. Let's do some picks. Yes,
Let's
absolutely.
I'm gonna get out my full pull app.
Okay.
Or I'll go to fullpullpicks.com. The guy who made our table. Now I know why you wear shades at every one of our countdown to pull
brutal.
times.
It's brutal. Well, we're looking right at the sun.
I'm just glad there is sun, Dan. Earlier this
week,
week,
we have
the
got
forecast,
not a cloud in the sky.
I know, this is
what
perfect.
A beautiful night for pulling. If you're anywhere within an hour and a half from Farley, Iowa, come on out. It's going to be just an awesome night.
I know the one thing that I wanted to talk about, Dan, was I've had about 50 to 100 text messages like, how do you get tickets tonight? And I think the anticipation of the event, maybe a little bit, they were worried that they weren't going to be able to, that was going to sell out. It's not going to sell out fans. But we got to get after picks.
Yes.
That's why I'm here.
Yes, absolutely.
So, here we go. So on your screen right now, fans, you see Pro Stock picks, Mini Rod picks, Super Stock diesel trucks, two-wheel drive trucks, the 4.1 limited Pro Stocks, and the four-wheel drive picks. 6 classes tonight, fans. $5 minimum picks, right?
Yep.
You're going to go in there and you're going to pick 2 that you think are going to finish in the top 3. Again, $5 minimum pick. Then you go on there and do that.
Now the best part is they don't have to win.
Correct. You could pick a vehicle that finishes in second or third, and you still win, and that's what makes it great. And I really enjoy that. Now, with big numbers like this, we have added the field picks in. We talked about that with Mary Kale back there a little bit. So with a field pick, what you're allowed to do. If we want, let's click on Pro Stocks, Dan. Let's take a look at Pro Stocks here.
So there we see some of the favorites. There we've got looks like the workhorse 11-1. That's interesting.
That's right. That's where the money should be going on Rob Russell right now at 11-1. What else do you see on there,
Let's
Dan?
see what else we see. We see New Generation Plus 17-1 on there as well.
You know, and that's going to go off of last night's performance or what they did to get into the finals here. We see that on a Saturday when you and I do something like this. Everybody picks the winners that won on Friday night to win on Saturday night, and that doesn't always happen. As you know, we don't see a lot of weekend sweeps.
Right.
We did see Simons do that in Hutchinson.
Yep.
And if they do that here, well, then they're to a different level of cool.
And of
we
course,
have the
they
field
will
pick
change.
competitors up right now. Yep.
Yep.
So when you make that field pick, Dan, and fans, if you watch it at home, every single one of those vehicles get picked into the picks there.
Mac Daddy,
I know.
Tinker Toy in the field pick. I mean, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, that is
a no-brainer there. You're going to want to go with
well,
the
that's
field
why
pick.
your field pick is basically 3-1 right now on that side of it. So
yeah, everybody's looking at that saying, hey, we got to take that one.
Super easy to jump onto fullpullpicks.com again and do all that. Dan, do you like, when you make your picks, do you like to do, Dan's going through, they're going through the pro stocks right now, Dan. Read off some of those numbers. What are some of the long shots right now?
Rampage, Danny Schmucker, he's 8-1 right now. Brandon Coates, 35-1.
Oh, that's a tough tractor out of the Badger State.
Yes, a Dubuque County tractor.
Yep, he's 7 miles from home.
Industrial Force, basically 1-1 there. Loud and Heavy, 1-1. So that was some of the long shots. Youngblood, 7-1. There's a nice pick.
That is a good, and we know that tractor runs as well. So it's going to be an awesome show tonight. So
you can feel it in the air, can't you? I mean, you can really feel. I mean, when you look at these competitors, it's game on. Game fixes on.
So we did pro stocks, Dan. What's another class that you'd like to look at, buddy?
Let's take a look at two-wheel drive.
Okay.
Let's take a look at two-wheel drive because this is really one of another one of those classes that anybody of those 22 vehicles tonight can win it. So
Dan, we're going to pick two, bud.
Okay.
I want you to pick two people that
winner,
you liked.
Texas two-step Cole Zychek.
That was your last night's winner.
Basically a one. Yeah.
He ran away with it, didn't he? Wasn't it 10 feet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was impressive. So I would have to say, Cole's got that setup going, and I'm going to go. Let's see who else we got in our field here.
Just reading down through there.
Bethany Nelson. We got the Sweet Revenge.
How do you even pick two?
11-1. My goodness. High maintenance.
Stuff.
Suffer and Sandy. There you go.
That Chase guy.
Go with Chase.
Let's take the Chase Richardson
Chase,
there.
Yes.
Okay, and then you pick a multiplier, fans. You can do a 1, which makes a $5 pick, or if you did 30, that would max us out at a $1,500 pick. Just for fun, let's throw that 30 in there. Is that what she did? I can't.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
She got the 30.
And the sun's in my eye, Dan. What would that pay?
Looks like $189.
Okay. So that would be a lot. Do some favorites there. Let's go back and let's do one more, Dan. Let's pick a couple long shots.
Okay.
And let's just throw down like a $10 and see how we do that. So pick a couple long shots that maybe a little longer odds, Dan.
Okay,
right now.
so we see the cornbirder there, Jason
Ooh,
Sullivan,
defending PPL champion.
Actually, nope. He's
Nope.
I misspoke there. The Taz.
John
Hunt's at 11-1.
That's a great truck out of
11-1.
Texas.
And then we've got In Too Deep 11-1. There is a good pick right
there.
there.
Fleming's.
Yeah.
So we picked those two.
40 minutes from home.
Yeah.
And they run good here.
They had a great pass. So if we put just a $5 pick down, what would that pay, Dan?
That one there. Let's see. We're going to multiply it right now.
She's doing it right now.
And it looks like 2 win would be $56.25.
So $5. Now let's throw in a 30 multiplier on that. So if we max this out on these two picks, that would pay
$16.87.
That'd be a nice little payday.
Yeah, we're going for pizza.
Yeah, we get pizza and Busch Lights, Dan.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah,
I love it. So again, fans for you that can't be here, again, fullpullpicks.com is great. We're showing it on your screen there. For fans that you cannot be here, it's unfortunate. This facility is top notch. We hear that this is the best track I've ever pulled on a lot. Let's be honest.
Yep.
There's always a lot of ass kissing. Oh, they want to make the promoter happy and stuff like that. You're never going to say this, but I'm going to say this, so it's all good. So we want you to be here. Full Pull Live.
I had heard from a gentleman that's in the business here, and he had told me he's been going to Pull since 1979.
Okay.
And this track on Thursday night was the best track that he had ever seen.
Since what year?
And he's an engine builder. 1979, he said.
That's awesome.
So, I mean, that just tells you. I mean...
So fans, if you can't be here, head over to fullpull.live. And then so you're going to see that $39.99 a month. And you're going to think, well, I don't want to pay that for just tonight. Yeah, you do. Because here's what happens. You can go back and watch Bowling Green last year. We just had Chris Schreier walking by. You can go watch Toma last year. All 4 sessions because I think Friday night got rained out last year in Toma. It's never rained in Toma until last year. You're supposed to laugh at my jokes.
Yes, right. Yeah.
But you get all of that. And then what a lot of people haven't realized is I've been walking through the pit stand. We teamed up with the Outlaw Truck and Tractor Pulling Association here. We're live streaming all of their events. You can see all the Outlaws all the Grand National NTPA pulling, selected regional events.
WTPA.
We signed up. Brent Yarn's running that stream for us as well at all the Wisconsin. I'm going to be in Ardmore, Tennessee next weekend with Mid-South pullers. And in the off season, we do events like Diesels and Dark Corners, Satsuma, Florida.
California.
We went from Georgia to California.
Yes.
So for like $1.33 a day, you can go back and see it. It's legit, and we're taking it to the next level and putting a spotlight, and then to come to a Farley like this and do it, it's just wild. It is just wild. We also have the driver rankings that we revealed on the best podcast in pulling, the most professional podcast in pulling, This Week in Pulling, hosted by my very own Dan Mayer. We did full pull driver rankings where we selected drivers, and then the actual drivers voted on who they felt their top 5 drivers were. And then Dan, Miles, and Jeremy, they released those in arena. And were there any big surprises for you at all? Like Jesse Petro was 2-wheel drive. I'm kind of going off the top of my head.
One of the biggest surprises was the Superstock Diesel tractor class, where Colin Ross didn't make it on the list, and that was kind of surprising.
Yep.
And I'd have to say that was pretty much the biggest upset, really.
That's fair. But all that can be found on our website at fullpull.us. Our shop is on there. We got awesome merch. For those of you that are just walking in, go back to the yellow trailer behind the grandstands. We got brand new Cummins Killers T-shirts and hoodies. We got event shirts. We got some Simon vehicles on there.
Throwback stuff.
We got Redman, right?
Yeah, throwback
I
stuff.
saw somebody pick up one of those up earlier. Got awesome merch. Hope is back there. We got free Wi-Fi back there as well. And for fans, maybe you're sitting in the stands and this is your first time you heard about fullpull.live because you live under a rock or Dan's clipboard there. You can go back and Hope will give you a 1-month free subscription. That's right. Go back to the trailer, buy a T-shirt, log on to the free Wi-Fi, and get a free month of subscription.
Check it out. Yeah.
Check it out.
You got nothing to lose.
It's legit.
Yeah.
It is legit. You have nothing to lose at all.
So upcoming, we're here in, like you talked about, next week you'll be down Mid-South,
Ardmore,
Tennessee,
Mid-South
and then the
Pullers.
following week,
Our very own Daryl Norman.
we got the big one coming up.
Toma.
50th anniversary for the Budweiser Dairyland Super Nationals.
Yes, sir.
And have
Toma
once again
special.
great coverage from top to bottom.
Toma
Live
is
coverage.
special.
Yes.
Can't wait. My tractor will be run. Diesel Supers run Friday afternoon, Saturday night. I'm excited to do that. We didn't have a good showing Saturday night, Hutchinson, the Diesel Super class. So I'm hoping everybody's put back together and we can let her rip. What do you like about Toma?
What I like about Toma is the amount of different vehicles you get to see.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw that here this weekend, but, you go up to Toma, you see a lot of competitors from up north.
Yep.
Minnesota, Wisconsin, that you don't normally get to see some guys and gals from California, not California, but you've got
There's some Californians
Canada.
there.
Oh, yeah, from time to time. But
there's
like
some
I say,
hosers, too. Yeah.
That's one of the things that I like about it is you just different vehicles that you don't get to see a lot. And, you get your Grand National followers, but you also get, a lot of regional stars and just guys and gals that just want to go pull in Toma. So
I was talking to the Ned Wallitzer, president of the WPI, and I said we were talking. We did a little interview. You go to Full Pull Facebook. We rode around in his golf cart, but he said there's a lot of PPL competitors and ECI and Outlaw competitors. Now they passed NTPA Tech, and I will tell you, as a past non-NTPA puller, when I ran with just Badger State, it was always told, don't go to Toma. They won't let you pull. Those NTPA guys don't want these other. That's such a line of crap.
Yeah.
So now everybody's been through Tech. Yeah, maybe it's a little more. You can't run this turbo or you can't do that. But now they could go to a Toma.
Everybody's legal,
if they have an open date. And I want everybody to get along. This sport's not going to grow unless we all get along.
We
and we can
all
go
get
pull
together.
everywhere.
You can see what a show they put on when everybody comes together.
It's
it's kind of like Louisville, how that's how Louisville works.
Yep.
Everybody, all the organizations come together and work out on that. But, yeah.
So real quick, I want to Budweiser, Summer Sizzler Door, Michigan, July 5th. Thunder in the Valley, Rock Valley, Iowa, July 10th through the 12th. Chapel Hill, the guys are rolling around. Tyler Slaw.
Yes.
Hey, okay, so I think I want to put Schultz Mortgage Team on one of those fenders. So I got to make him an offer, Dan. Or we should put. It's not big enough.
It's not big enough.
But we could put. We could put This Week in Pulling on there.
Best appearing.
Best appearing.
There, Tanner, right behind
right
us.
there, Tanner Nelson.
There it is. Yep.
So maybe we could put the No Practice Podcast guys on there.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't think the sport's not ready.
I
for
think
that.
we're up to 9 now.
We have 9 fans.
Yeah, we're rolling now.
So,
we're rolling.
Okay. Big thanks. We're 1 hour in.
Yes.
1 hour away. Are you nervous, Dan? Have you ever been nervous announcing a truck and tractor pull?
No.
There's nobody watching tonight.
Well, like Chase and I were talking this afternoon, he come from the basketball world.
Yep.
And he's got the philosophy of enjoy the moment.
Okay.
If you get nervous and you get wound up and you just can't perform. So it's like one of those things where enjoy the moment. This is fun. I mean, we do this. This
is our job.
Fun. but I mean, it is fun. And where else would you rather be? So it's like you can't get nervous.
Right.
So it's kind of one of those things. But it's always fun. And $50,000 giving the big checks away here tonight. That's going to be awesome.
Yep. So our event in coverage starts at 6 o'clock tonight in venue. We're going to, you and Miles will be up there at your fancy desk, and Charles will be cruising around.
Dodging trucks.
Yep.
Again.
Yeah, the rumor tried to hit you guys last night.
Yes,
So,
tried,
but he replaced his hitch and everything?
Yep.
We should be good.
We're good. We'll see you all 6
Awesome.
o'clock. We'll
Thank
get
you
things
for
rolling
watching
here
Countdown
tonight.
to Pull Time. On behalf of the greatest announcer in truck and tractor pulling, Dan Mayer, I'm some flunky named Jason Schultz. Tune in soon. We'll be back.
We'll see you.